Good morning, my friends. It's Friday again, and it is a cloudy, rainy morning. It's not a storm, just a gentle rain, but cloudy outside. So we're up to July 16, 2021, and I've got a brand new fresh cuppa going down. Woo! I've been on the phone for quite a while talking to my precious granddaughter. She is a nurse. She just had her first year of nursing through COVID. Of all times to start your nursing career through such an awful, awful ordeal as COVID. She has really had an unbelievable year. I said, baby girl, how many days a week do you work? And she said, 5 or 6, Grandma. I said, what? 12-hour shifts? 5 or 6 days ago? That ought to be against the law. That's crazy. I don't know how anybody can maintain their sanity. Plus, she works in the cardiac intensive care floor. So everybody's, just at death's door to begin with. What a burden. What? That's just too much. That's just too much. I always knew that I wouldn't be good at that, because you don't have just one person. When you're a caretaker, it's a huge, huge job to take care of just one person. But to have to take care of several. I think she said she had 13. No, maybe she said she had room 13 and 14. I'm not sure. But anyway, she has patient after patient after patient after patient. 14-hour shifts? Oh my goodness. She called me one day just falling apart. Oh, Grandma just had the most horrible night. I just thought, how do these girls do this? How does anybody be a nurse with that kind of a daily assignment? I'm telling you what, it takes an extremely strong person. I said, baby girl, I am so glad you're a Christian. I said, do you know how blessed those people are to be touched by you? Touched by you. You love Jesus, you know who he is, you know where they're going if they're a Christian, and you care about them so much. They are so blessed to be touched by you. So, she's still talking to Papa. She's something else, I'll tell you. She tore her dryer apart herself to replace a part in it. She is something else, that little girl. Alrighty, let's see what we're going to talk about today. Looks like we're still on fasting. It says, Matthew 6:17 and 18. Jesus said, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to men that you are fasting, but only to your Father, who is unseen, and your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Yeah. Evidently, there's a lot of people going around showing off that they were fasting. I bet they weren't really fasting that great either if they were that kind of person that's going to show it off to everybody. But that's just the joy version. Okay, let's get back to the book. Between you and God, keep personal things personal. Some things should just be between you and God. For example, fasting should be a private thing. There's no need for everyone to know that you're fasting, especially by only looking at you. Why does it matter? Because if you are concerned about what others think, then you aren't really focused on God. And an act of faith like fasting should make you grow closer to Him, not to get attention from others. Yes, I agree with that. We talked about it yesterday, and my point of view has not changed. I don't know why some people, and there's a lot of them, I've known them in the past. It's one of the reasons Jerry and I like to be kind of outside the inner circle when it comes to churches. We used to be very, very involved in Sunday school. We were raising our kids, and we went to church every Sunday, never missed. And the kids would be down the hall in Sunday school, and Jerry and I would be in our Sunday school class. Well, it came to the point that one year they made Jerry the president of the Sunday school class, which was very nice and an honor, sort of. But I kind of got made the social director, and I don't like being the social director. I didn't want to be the social director. Especially back then. I was afraid of my shadow. I was so naive. I was still so naive and so afraid of people. And if I decided, oh, I think I'm going to do blue tablecloths, there'd be 3 women. Oh, I think you should do pink tablecloths. Oh, I think you should do white tablecloths. Well, I don't think you should do tablecloths at all. And me being a person that thinking I was stupid and I never knew the right thing to do and everybody else was smarter than I was, it would just stress me to no end. Oh no, she says pink and she says green and she says none, and oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Right now I would just say, well, I'm in charge of this and we're going to do brown. But then, no. No. You know, it takes a lot of years and it takes a lot of circumstances and a lot of getting through something before you really know who you are in this life. And before you learn to be bold and confident and know that you're not the stupidest pea in the pod and that you actually might have an idea that's okay without 10 other people telling you you should do something different. But that was a really hard time in my life, it was. Because it didn't matter what I decided I wanted to do. There was somebody that was going to say you should do it different. But I tell you what, I did the Christmas party one year. And we had, you know, all churches have these big activity rooms. And so our Sunday school class, which was all adults, what were we, 30 years old, 35, with our 2 kids. Well, our 2 kids weren't involved in this. It was just the grown-ups, the husbands and the wives. And so I had it catered. And it was really, really a nice meal. I don't remember what it was, if it was salmon or if it was some special chicken dish, or I don't know what it was, but it was a really nice meal, like with a salad and then a 3-course meal and then a dessert. And since it was Christmas, you know, I sewed then like I sew now. And so they have all of these tables. You guys have been to church. They always have these tables with the legs that unfold and they set them up all over the place. And yes, I put tablecloths on them. But I think I made 12. I think we had 12 of these banquet tables in there with chairs all around. Maybe 6. It's been a long time, my friends. Our Sunday school surely wasn't big enough for 12. Maybe 6, maybe 8. But I made Christmas trees. Have you seen the patterns for those Christmas trees that are made out of fabric? And they're like about 12 inches tall. And they're like biggest around at the bottom. Then they go in. And then in, and then in, and then they're a point at the top, and then they have a star at the top. Well, I made however many tables, that's however many Christmas trees I made. It's 6 or 8, there was a bunch of them. And I put them on every table. I'm telling you, people didn't know about that. I didn't say, oh, by the way, could I please have everyone's approval to make a Christmas tree for every table? I decided I'm not going to tell anybody I'm doing this because somebody ain't going to like it. And they're going to complain and they're going to say, oh, they should be 2 inches tall. Oh, they should be 8 inches tall. Oh, whatever. Don't even do them. But I did them. So I put them on each table. Well, at the end of the dinner, and then of course you have the ones. You have the ones. You know, when you're catering something, you have to know how many people there's going to be because you have to have a dinner for each person. Well, there was this one couple who said they weren't coming. Had so many sign up, ordered dinners for that many people. One couple told me they weren't coming, they weren't going to be there. Well, they showed up. And guess whose dinner they got? Mine and Jerry's. Oh yeah, I wasn't happy about that. So, these kinds of things, my point is, they help you grow. They help something rise up in you and make you a stronger person. I mean, you know, first it was my divorce from my first husband, and then the Sunday school thing. One of many, many things. And I'm working full time. I'm a secretary and I'm working full time, and so whatever I'm doing on the weekends and the evenings. So I made all these trees. People loved them. Absolutely loved them. And so after the party was over and all the dishes were gone, it was all cleaned up, all the trees were left. One of the guys in the church, actually his name's Lloyd Gammon, and he was married to my best friend then, Deanna Gammon. And in fact, that's where we met him, was in that Sunday school class. And turned out she lived 3 houses down from me. So we got to be really, really close. Well, he was an investor in real life. He was an investor. He's actually one that taught Jerry. He was one of the first ones to teach Jerry about how to invest in the stock market or whatever people do. So he decided that he was going to make some money for the Sunday school class. You know, we had a treasury. Sunday school classes have to have money because you have to pay for stuff, for the social activities and things, you know. So he decided he was going to make money. So Lloyd took one of the tables and he pulled it over and he set it up at the end of the room. And he put all of the Christmas trees on it. And he did an auction. And he auctioned off every one of those Christmas trees. Now, nobody had paid me for them. It was all my own money, you know, that made those. But he sold every single one of those. And he made, I don't know, a couple $100 or something to put in the Sunday school fund. So I just was really proud of that. I was proud that something I did on my own that I didn't have somebody's approval for turned out to make money for the Sunday school class. What does that have to do with fasting? It just has to do with why Jerry and I don't really like to be involved on the inner circle. Because one of the things you find out, like we did when we were the president of the Sunday school, you find out everybody's faults. You find out everybody's sins. Because like being the president, the people think they need to all come up and tell on everybody. And did you know that he's doing this and she's doing that? And did you know that this one's having an affair and this one's doing even worse? And this one. And the ones that are close to the preacher, oh my gosh, they tell you all about the preacher and his wife. And oh my goodness, one of our preachers was a really bad alcoholic. We had no idea. But came to know the janitor of the church. And the janitor of the church informed us how many empty alcohol bottles he took out of the preacher's desk every week. So, for these reasons, Jerry and I prefer to just be on the outside, singing, praying, agreeing, and enjoying the fact that some things are to be just between that person and God. Okay? That's my whole point. I'm glad you finally got to it, Joy. Gotta go. I'm making another video for my other channel. God bless you. I'll be back tomorrow, and of course Jerry will be here Sunday.